All right, day 2 of the Snowfest weekend. Got a bunch of demo rides in yesterday. Don't have as many plans today. Hopefully we'll go out and find a couple cool spots to maybe play in, get some cool pictures, and still up here with Josh and Kevin. Should be fun. Unfortunately, Mike couldn't join us today. He's got the Indy XC 129 that rode with us last year, the blue and lime one. So, too bad he can't be here, but gotta work so you can buy that new snow check, you know? And we'll see you guys out on the trails.
How are you on gas, do you know?
If we're going into town, we should just get gas anyway. Yeah.
I'm like a little under half or something like that, so.
Go ahead. We can all switch. Kevin, you can ride this one. I'll ride Josh's. How's that?
Woo! I was about to talk.
No! Ah! Huh? No. As soon as it hits stuff, it just stops. Thankfully, it was like 4 feet from the ground and not 20.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out, dude. And honestly, it's like Josh said earlier, like,
Well, no matter what you get, you will get used to it and you won't think anything of it. Like, you really will not think, wow, this is undrivable. You'll just think that's my sled, you know what I mean? Yeah.
There's no way whatever you buy will be any worse than that.
I'm about to get a mountain sled. I was like, heavy approach angle. How's time traveling?
Honestly, it just kind of made me secure. I want something that has a little higher standard. Because I was able to keep up with Josh on that one, like, much easier.
Yeah.
Granted, I think you slipped at the very beginning.
Dude, I was struggling the whole time on this.
Really?
I think I just made, it's not that the snowmobile's fault. I just struggled to turn this one.
The skis are super heavy.
Yeah, maybe.
See, I go opposite. I think that one was harder to turn than this one.
I think if I was more comfortable on this one would be better. But right now, I'm just like, I have no fucking clue.
But yeah,
I'll say they're very different. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, that one, I feel like you get a lot of feedback through the bars, like when you hit bumps and stuff. But it does, I think the initial turn-in's easier, whereas on this, initial turn-in's harder, but like the feedback isn't as, like when you hit bumps, you don't feel it like come through the handlebars and stuff, so.
yeah, I don't know, so that means,
Also,
like,
the brake just seems a little like high on my wrist.
Yeah, I always needed to adjust these and I never did.
again, I'm like so off. Like,
You liked
I
it?
like the location of this brake more than that one.
Yeah.
You don't stand that much though, right?
Well, it's not even that. To me, I like that one feels too far away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I just mean the angle on it. Like,
I guess
for
for
me, I
me,
feel
it
like
was,
when I'm sitting, I have to like have my hand up on this one, and then when I'm standing, it feels good, but it's still a little like, I don't know, it feels off.
Yeah.
to me, it was like, I noticed that one's just a little far, whereas this one, I was like, ooh, that's nice.
I
Yeah.
need to get used to it.
Yeah, they're
I
just-
was fucking up all over in the beginning.
I
of this
did,
one.
I was watching you, like the one turn you slid way out, and I was like, ooh.
I literally had to pull over to the left side because I was like, if someone's coming around this turn, I'm not going to see it.
Yeah.
And I just waited, and I didn't hear anything.
This is so beautiful.
Oh yeah, this is the spot, you know what I mean? I've definitely found a more active way to ride the Riot. I almost kind of like that it's on narrow because it does get a little inside ski lift, but it does feel like it's kind of forcing the outside ski in more, which is kind of that little bit extra that when I'm riding hard I was lacking before. I always felt like that was kind of where it pushed, and that's a big characteristic of Polaris's, so I think I'm just kind of used to riding that way. But this way I get that I can really just kind of rail a corner. I can lean in, try to keep the inside ski down, and just let the outside ski dig. I will say though, when you kind of hit a bump and you're doing that, it does really throw the sled, so that's a negative characteristic. Although I did put the 6-inch carbides on, so maybe that's what I'm enjoying more about it. That could be. I didn't think about it. I only rode it for a short time last week because I brought my girlfriend up and we were just kind of more seeing the sights than actually like doing a full out ride. Oh, I'm getting tired. My legs. How have we not done 100 miles yet?
What are we at?
I don't know, but not very much. Maybe, I don't know.
Clip one on this was 171.
Yeah, I have no idea when I set that, to be totally honest.
Alright, so we're getting to the end of the season. I kind of just realized while I was riding that this could be my last ride on the Assault, depending on what I end up doing for next year. I've done a lot of switching with Kevin and Josh all day. You've kind of heard throughout the day like their thoughts on both sleds. Kevin's been on the Riot quite a bit, back on the Assault. Same with Josh. Josh before today really hadn't really been on either sled much. He rode the Assault for a little while last year and he really hasn't ridden the Riot other than kind of moving it around the trailer for us. So Cool to see their opinions kind of grow as time's gone on, and definitely interesting to hear each person's perspective on like what they like and what they don't, because obviously I've gotten very used to each sled for what it's good at and what it's not, and I can almost kind of forget about things that are different if you're coming from something else, or if you're not super acquainted with the sport, you know, things that you need to plan more for, and like the corners or other stuff like that. So it's definitely been cool to hear their opinions, and I'll keep you guys updated on what they say. Hope you guys enjoyed the season. I hope I can get out once more because Dad wants to ride, but it's looking a little iffy for next week, and been a lot of really sloppy riding today. So I just want to say I really appreciate all the support throughout the year. If you guys enjoy the content, you know, I would appreciate you subscribing. There'll be even more next year. You guys know that I'm in this for the long haul, and I look forward to bringing more sled content for 2020 and 2021. What's being on the Riot been like for you again? What are you thinking?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. I noticed for me the biggest thing is when you like come into a corner hot and you hit a bump, that's when the ski lift is really intense. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're just going through a normal turn, I don't really notice it.
And that's why I think your dad's gotta love it so much, is because I feel like, well, he's probably got an extra 100 pounds on me.
Yeah.
It'll never lift for him, really.
That's true. Yeah. I've actually never had it on full wide. I only had it in the middle the last time when you rode it. I'm curious to try it on full wide.
I bet you that thing will be so stable.
Dude, I can't even imagine.
The Assault definitely freewheels more than the Riot. The Riot like kind of slows down as soon as you let off the gas.
So Josh, what were your final thoughts on them?
So
I am honestly, if you say you like the Riot, I think that's great, because I think people are going to be convinced I've just convinced everyone to like Assaults.
I would say, if you don't know how to ride, I like the Riot a lot more.
Yeah.
And if you have time to learn and or want to grow into a sled, the Assault's better. But caveat, I only tried it in the wide stance, right?
Yeah.
So.
But the wide stance is what the Assaults are.
Okay.
So like if you got us,
really good.
Yeah. If you got it from the factory, that's how it would handle.
Tippiness I initially felt on the Assault, I got used to it, totally went away. Like,
yeah.
I had to really push it to get a ski to pop up on the wide stance.
Yeah.
Initially, it was overly tippy, I thought, and then I just realized just taking turns like an idiot.
What do you think of the seating position?
I like it a lot more than the Riot.
Yeah.
But mostly just because I like being into the turns, I like hanging off the side of the sled, and I really don't feel like I do that.
Yeah. So do you guys feel like you sit higher on this too?
I feel like I sit forward more.
Definitely. You can definitely sit more forward with the shape of the panels and stuff.
So I don't know if I don't like higher maybe, but it's more like I'm over the top of the sled.
Yeah.
You have more control with your body on the Assault.
Yeah.
Or like it affects the sled more. You said that earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take much to affect the Assault. Whereas the Riot, I feel like unless I'm hard into the turn, it's like I could just stay straight.
That's kind of what I said. No matter what you do with your body, that sled just doesn't. It's doing what it's doing. You know what I mean? It's just
Which is an amazing feature for the sled.
Yeah.
If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's just like for me, perfect, and for your dad, perfect. For anybody that doesn't want to do something like crazy on a crossover, like probably the best crossover you could probably buy.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Riot, or not the Riot, the Assault. Whenever I want it to go faster, it will go so much faster.
Yeah.
The Riot is like in the mid-range, it's got it.
Yeah.
So a little on the early end and a little on the late, it just doesn't have what that has. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard. They're both just so different.
They really are. Like when I bought them, I expected them to be close enough that like it really, I could easily give one up and not feel anything about it. But dude, like the Riot is a totally different machine. The way it hits bumps is different. The way you sit on it's different. Everything. It's crazy.
I'm really happy I got to ride like all 3 sleds before I purchased one.
Yeah.
Because it made me realize what I want. Like, I don't need like anything crazy, so like a longer track would be nice.
Yep.
I think at first, you know, I was kind of like, oh yeah, the crossover and all that stuff would be really cool, but nah. We're gonna be riding trails almost 100% of the time, so it's like, I would like I think, you know, a fast trail sled with a wider stance, just because it's just so much, you know, more like when I rode this, like in the narrower stance, like it just feels a little more like
tippy. Yeah. No, you're right.
And I think that for what we're gonna do with it, 100% of the time.
Yeah. I'll definitely be very curious to see how you develop, because that's a very honest, like, beginner opinion. Like, it's just honest. Like, it makes sense.
The thing for me right now, though, is also at my price point, the longest sled, even the crossovers are at 137.
Yeah.
And at my price point, I can get those, like, the Renegades are also 137.
Yeah.
So it's like, well...
The only difference between those 2 sleds is the front end. Yeah. So you won't feel anything.
Which is better for, the Renegade's better for trails, right?
100%.
So it's like, just go with that.
Yeah.
If I was going to ride 100 plus miles, I'd probably ride this.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
If I wasn't trying to kill myself.
I do feel spanked sometimes at the end of the day on this thing, so.
I think that's kind of it. It's like, I think that this is like the perfect crossover for someone that just wants to eventually just ride in some powder.
Yeah. They really occasionally want to go off trail, but most of the time they're going to be on trail. Yeah.
Or that one's maybe a little more off trail.
Yeah.
75-25 trail, 25-75 off trail. If I was from no one...
A trail guy opinion?
From a trail opinion.
Yeah.
Trail guy opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From like, don't listen to me opinion.
Yeah. I could see that.
Just in comparison.
Yeah.
Wheelies though.
Yeah.
Wheelies.
The Assault is the wheelie king.
I don't even know how to wheelie, and I can get that thing to wheelie without knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah, right?
Not big ones, but...
I know, I threw the best wheelie anybody's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, you did great.
It was one where I was like in the air, and I'm like, shit, that was fucking huge. And I see it on video, I'm like, I don't even think I got off the ground.